The jury is out. The final verdict is upon us. Tonight, Creepy Daddy Michaels and Bubba's Bullies are facing off for the final. This is exciting stuff.
CDM and Bubba's are basically tied in every category except for Overslept.
So X-League Gamer is now kind of fishing around. These survivors are having trouble actually getting gens done. Now Freaky JT kind of running away a different direction, and she is able to juke just out of the way. Really well done there by Freaky JT. And all the gens popping now, getting an adrenaline here, and it looks like they're going to have Freaky JT coming off of the hook. We have one exit gate getting open. That's a really critical moment because now they can have a 4-man escape. Going for the 4-man, they are not afraid. But is that going to be their undoing? Was this a mistake on their part? A rejuvenated trip now, 3rd hook. So if there was a time for them to leave, it would be now. Only 1 gate open so far. However, King Pleb Warrior now back in a chase with the nurse. The nurse catching up very swiftly, but he is going to make it to the exit gate. And that's probably going to spell the end for X-Elite Gamer. On their first game of the day, it's going to be really tough for them to come back from this.
And I know that there's only an 8-point difference here, but for either of these teams to have any type of lead is saying something.
It's massive. It is saying something. All right, everybody. Bubba's Bullies versus CDM. We are back here with trial number 2. Just about to jump into the game right now. And yeah, it's Coal Tower again. That's right, folks. Coal Tower again. And we're seeing a spirit. King Pleb Warrior now off to the gens. Apply some of that pressure. Keep things going. Keep things moving. Definitely want to see a lot of that. Once again, letting the Claudette get away. This is a problem right now for King Pleb Warrior, not able to commit to getting one survivor down. Currently trying to focus down on all for Domo, but at this point it may not be enough. A beautiful play by the survivors here. Now the adrenaline coming in. Holy crap, Asteroid 261 and X-Elite Gamer both getting 2 adrenaline simultaneously. That was so well coordinated. All for Domo still in chase, the only one remaining who can go down. This is the only chance he has to actually get a kill out of this game, or these survivors are going to take it away. Now body blocking for All for Domo. Lots of body blocking, just not allowing it. Spirit being really patient, able to get the down just barely, right at the exit gate. Everybody escaping except for All for Domo, gonna be the one who goes out. A similar, very similar ending to the last game we just saw. Holy crap, 34-29 in favor of Bubba's Bullies. They have now come ahead from that 8-point lead, pulling 5 points further ahead, and now a 13-point difference in this game itself. We are here with Bubba's Bullies and CDM. We're going again, and my God, it's so close right now. Bubba's Bullies versus CDM. Bubba's now surviving against a Bubba. Dropping that pallet really early. Smart plays here by the team, playing it extra safe, extra cautious, not taking any risks against CDM. Getting a hit on X-Elite Gamer. Once again, though, getting only an M1. Not able to achieve a chainsaw. I haven't seen the chainsaw come out yet. King Pleb Warrior now closing in on these 2 survivors that just unhooked. Trying to go again for the Claudette. He definitely needs to secure a kill here very soon. And that is an insta-down. Seems like there might have been a Devour Hope in play here. Getting 2 players down, now going for a slug game. I don't know if we want to comment on what we just saw there, but that was a missed decisive strike. CDM showing big here against Bubba's Bullies as a Bubba. And now we see a 3-man recovery. Adrenaline. 3-man adrenaline. And we see them opening one gate over here on this side of the map and opening the other gate on this side of the map. Getting it down to the wire here, 40-43 as we speak currently. Getting an instant down on Asteroid 621, who got a little bit greedy over there. 2nd hook for Asteroid 621. And I think they're going to just leave him behind. My goodness. So that is the score after 3, 48-51. It is neck and neck here, folks, going into the 4th trial of the finals. I'm through the roof right now. So the first thing we noticed right away, we should talk about, first thing, is Bubba's Bullies is killing against CDM's survivors. And we see X-Elite Gamer with a Spirit, 2nd Spirit of the day. Spirit being an extremely oppressive, extremely strong killer in the right hands. The question is is X-Elite Gamer the right hands for the Spirit? Already getting a first hook before the first gen even pops. Losing a little bit of pressure here as the Cybers are able to finally get one generator knocked out of the way. Finding now Freaky JT out in the open. Going down right by a tree, not quite able to get to safety. And now we see King Pleb Warrior working on their generator, possibly looking to go for the unhook. Really needs to snowball here. 3 gens left. Needs to start considering how she's going to procure a snowball. Jeff taking a hit here at the TNL wall jungle gyms. Reminder, this is Suffocation Pit, and we see a lot of these walls and jungle gyms right in the center. Oh my god, going down right by the ballot. I was just going to talk about the safety of these jungle gyms, and then the Spirit just completely undoes all of that with her phasing, coming straight through, knocking him right down, right by a pallet. And once again, we see them just go outside of the safety, going out to the tree again, getting it down. I don't know if it's some kind of mind game where they're trying to get away from the Spirit, but it's just not working. I would just be staying in the safety of the jungle gyms, but they just keep leaving the safety and going out to the middle of nowhere and getting downed. Really just playing against them. This is so close and intense, trying to bounce a little bit more pressure on that generator. These survivors just showing really strong how they are, and the last generator gets done! Guys, this could be game over with no deaths this game from X-Elite Gamer. Is he going to be able to pull it out? Able to get the down on the ASMR Big Lizzy. ASMR Big Lizzy being the only one on Death Hook. A perfect opportunity for X-Elite Gamer to pull something back. However, the survivors, if they're smart, are going to be working to get out right now. And that's exactly what we see them doing. There is no reason for them to stick around any longer. It's time for them to go and get out as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, it does take 16 seconds to open an exit gate, which means there's just enough time for her to mount a little bit more pressure and maybe even out the score here. Now chasing Rejuvenated Trip behind the Suffocation Pit, but then leaves it. Going instead for one of the exit gates. One of the exit gates already been opened, the other one now being opened as well. King Pleb Warrior seeing his way out. I think this is going to be it for X-Elite Gamer this season. Only going to be able to secure the 1 kill. It looks like that's going to be it. No matter what she does here, if he gets the speed boost, he's going to get out. Yep, that's it. He's able to get out very easily. Quick and swift. Goodbye. All 3 survivors escaping. CDM looks like they're coming out pretty strong ahead in these tallies. Guys, I think this could be it. I think this is it. I think CDM's going to be the one who takes it home tonight. These scores are being tallied right now, and that's just about the end of the story this season, with CDM getting 70 points and X-Elite Gamer 64. Sam, is that the final score?
Yep, that is the final score.
That is the final score, ladies and gentlemen. 70 to 64, only a 6-point lead with CDM taking it. It was just so close all around this season and this match altogether. It's just... before the first gen even pops. Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Freaky JT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Vigo's Court. I'm your judge, Little Rugar, and with me is Counselor Poggy. Today, we have another exciting game between 2 amazing teams. Let's see what's on the docket.
Let's see what's on the what? Oh.
Docket. Button? Oh, on the button? Okay. In today's trial, we have division rivals Object of Depression versus We Overslept going head-to-head on... Gas Heaven. It is 164 square tiles, 10,496 meters squared, 8 hooks minimum, 13 hooks max, with 1 permanent gen. I believe it is inside that what is garage area? Is that what it is? It's the
yeah, I think that's the one. The one that's the one inside the actual gas station. Yeah, I think that's the permanent one.
And this is Autohaven Records, which, if I remember correctly, this has been out since the beginning of the game. This is a, OG
it's
map,
an old one,
right?
For sure, yeah. This is a Wraith map, so yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very early map.
And I'll have to get used to saying Gas Heaven, Gas Heaven, Gas Heaven, because I've always called it Gas Haven. I've got some work cut out for me.
It's an honest mistake. It's an honest mistake.
This map recently got reworked too. That gas station area is no longer as safe as it used to be, it feels like. You've got the breakable doors that come in, and you can attack that gen from multiple sides. It used to be, it was really hard to defend that gen, in my opinion, but not so much anymore. Well, okay, if you're a trapper, you could easily defend that generator, but less so now, I feel like. I don't know, what do you think? Have you played much on the new Gas Heaven?
I have a little bit. There's some bugs in it, but otherwise, I think it's fine. I think I would agree with you that I guess the internal generator is a little hard to defend. Not impossible. It's also really easy to get hits if you don't open the doors. There's 2 breakable doors in there usually. I think. I don't know if it's always 2. Maybe it's sometimes 1. Maybe Sam could jump in on that one, but I'm pretty sure it's always 2 doors that are catty-corner to each other. And so opening any one of those, I would wait until... Okay, it might not be. So opening any one of those doors, though, I would wait until after the generator's done to open them to make our way through for the killer. But before the generator's done, you can really trap survivors in there, just like kind of the old-school map. So it can be very effective, but also very tricky. So, I don't know. There's one pallet in there that spawns. I'm pretty sure that's also a perma pallet right by the car. Yeah.
Yep, definitely perma pallet. And overall, from what I've seen of that map, it seems pretty balanced. It's a medium size, not too big, not too small. And I think the only thing that was ever really annoying for people was if the team took Object of Obsession, because you could hide behind that massive wall of cars on the side, and they would you'd be safe. They couldn't get to you. As soon as they made their way for you, you could run away. I don't know, but we don't have Object Obsession. Oh, are we loading in?
Yeah, we are. I'm going to go ahead and run the rules video so we can get a look at that for the new people who are here and some of the veterans as well. Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each roll twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Alright, folks, we're here with Week 1 matchup. Division rivals Object of Depression versus We Overslept. We're going to be taking a look at this game in just a moment. We're about to load in right now. And we're gonna see what's going on as soon as this loads. I'm gonna let this stay on the screen for a moment because the load screen's, boring. But hopefully you guys are having a good day. Welcome to Vigo's Court. This is the first game of the day, the first game of many games today. I mean, many games today. This is the most we've ever had. A triple header today, folks. 12 games. That's insane. That's a lot of games. That's more than I play on stream normally. So that's a lot of games. Let's take a look and go ahead and jump on in. We have Object of Depression killing first, if I'm not mistaken, and We Overslept will be going for the survivor side first. And this is the real Zappies, which is an interesting name. Playing the twins, of course, we see, and that should be very interesting indeed. Now, the survivors seem to have spawned all split up, which is actually beneficial for the team. We do see Victor lining up and going for the hit, able to get a hit very quick on Fang. That is fantastic. This guy must be like a twin main, perhaps, maybe? Like maybe he's been practicing a lot of twin, because I would have messed that first jump up of the very first game like 20 times. So it's nice to see a professional. That's hard to aim.
I think we've only ever seen a twin in a throwaway match with
only
OOD
once, yeah.
last season.
Only one time. He's okay. All right, he's getting another hit. So this should be very interesting indeed, with this guy just kind of nailing shots. And of course, when the victor is on the player, they cannot hear the killer's terror radius. They're blinded and oblivious, essentially. So they are not able to exactly tell where he is. We do see one generator popping, however, pretty much right away. And I guess still in a chase. Yeah, okay, so he's now chasing the Bill instead of going any more for G-Men. And I think G-Men still has control of Victor. But after a while, the killer can recall it unless the survivor removes Victor from their body using the, I guess, remove. I forget what it's called. It's like remove or struggle or something like that. It's kind of like a struggle thing.
Yeah, I think it's struggle.
Right. And we do see a totem already going down, Bill taking an injury. So 2 players injured, but nobody downed yet, unfortunately. Although, as I say it, a Bill going down with a really nice hit from Victor, our killer, doing a fantastic job starting the game off. And now going to get that first time. Now, one thing I've noticed about these twin games, and this is, I don't know if this is a trivial thing or not, it might not be me, but I've noticed a lot of these games tend to last longer than normal games, I guess. I don't know about normal game, but other killer games, does that make sense? I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's something to do with the fact that there's like basically 2 killers on the map, but we do see already 2 gens being done, and oh, I didn't even see that hit happen. Salty Medic going for the unhook with Victor on their back. And that's 3 players injured, and the unhook was successful. Salty Medic just going to kind of hang on to that and not really worry too much about it. And we see now the real Zappies going in for the down on Nia, and is going to be able to mind game much more effectively when the survivor can't exactly hear you, and instead you have to be watching very carefully. And that's probably exactly why she went down so quick there at the shack. Very nice play by the real Zappies. Doing really well so far, but the survivors not making any waste, using as much of their time as possible to just complete generators. About to see another generator pop in just a moment. And Dwight going down. See, now we have 2 people injured, 1 person down, actually, and another person on hook. So we want to be very careful. As the survivor squad, you want to be considering resetting whenever you have this killer, because all it takes is 1 hit from Victor, and Victor can keep going around and just downing more and more players. Like, he doesn't have to recall if you get downed, as opposed to, like, right there, he's sitting right there. So he can actually be used continuously now if everybody's injured. If you're not injured, then he has to latch on, which means he has to be reset. Oh, Salty Medic running right into the killer. Unlucky. And this is something I have to actually switch manually to Victor. It doesn't switch automatically whenever the player does, so I have to actually do that manually. This is something we discovered from spectating in the last season, where it's kind of weird how it works. You'll actually be stuck on the killer if you don't switch manually. And we see that killer instinct. See, like, he just switched just now. I didn't even realize. Okay, so let's see what the killer is doing. What's the plan? Oh, I guess he's leaving Salty Medic on the ground for the sake of perhaps a decisive strike. I guess that makes sense. FXCKZ trying to get the Victor off of them. It is very hard to keep up with what's happening, but I think I kind of, like, there's just so much slugging and downing, and this is very standard, by the way. This is standard affair that I've seen with this killer, is that there's just a lot of slugging going on. And this can really prolong the game. I think this is why the game gets prolonged, is because of all the slugging. And the killer does see Killer Instinct over in the corner, so is going to go in that direction after they get the hook here on Salty Medic. And, of course, they can see exactly where that was. And she's now running after either it's Dwight or I think Fang was who it was. She was originally behind, but now probably switched over perhaps to the Dwight. Hard to say for sure. Yeah, she's kind of camping between the two hooks. This is a very tough match to commentate because it's just so all over the place. This is the thing about the twins killer is just hard to follow in general. Not quite as bad as a nurse game, though, I don't think. Oh, I think that's the first time we've seen the miss. Is she going to get the kick? She does get the kick. Very nice play by FXCKZ, able to kick the... able to kick them down really quickly, and we do see a G-Men 4674 now in the chase and injured. Is able to secure a stun on the killer, now working his way to Shaq. And not really sure. Yeah, okay, so he is going to have to continue. Salty Medic being the first one to die, progressing all the way to Death Hook from second hook. And that is a confirmed kill for Object of Depression. And another missed Victor jump. I forget what the leap. Is it called a leap? Or a lunge? Pounce.
Yeah,
Pounce.
lunge.
That's it. Pounce. I'm just trying to remember the word for it. But we got it now. G-Men 4674 going to go down right there and probably get picked up in just a moment. Unless the killer is going to focus other players first, which is, again, this is something we see a lot of, is the slugging plays by twin killers. Someone in the chat says, OOD better than Phase. I don't know about that. I don't know. But G-Men 4674 is, of course, dead on hook, so that's 2 dead on hook. Now, they can still make something out of this, but it's going to be very difficult going forward. Do you think it's going to be a 4K? It feels like a 4K. If not a hatch play with like a 3K. Good God, that's hard to look at. Okay, let's get off of that screen. The real Zappies now going in for the down. But, I mean, look, they're getting gens pretty much close to done. I mean, look how close that was. I mean, they could theoretically recover from this, at least in part. But if Bill goes down, that is going to be death hook for Bill, although Fang hasn't yet been hooked. And she could potentially find Hatch and get out. And she does use her Styptic agent, trying to get a little bit extra. She's going to maybe on purpose take a hit, but Victor overshooting it. This is a tough one, and she does go down, not being able to get her Styptic agent used, unfortunately. But that'll be first hook for Fang, and Bill... I wonder if she's going to go for the slug play or actually go for a hook on Fang. That's a tough question. I think, yeah, she's going for the slug play for sure. Very nice. I think that's GG, ladies and gentlemen, unless Bill, of course, has Unbreakable. No, she's not even going to bother because she's going to go. And he does have Unbreakable, by the way, but he's getting hooked, so it doesn't matter. GG's. Wow. That was actually probably one of the fastest Twins games I've ever seen.
Agreed.
They often just last so long. I don't know. So let's take a look at that.
That was impressive.
It was very impressive. And what is she doing?
I'm not sure.
Me neither. She was just kind of standing there like maybe she was having trouble picking her up. I don't know exactly what happened there.
Maybe,
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's going to be game number 1 for Object of Depression versus We Overslept, and I think we all know what just happened here. Object of Depression came in and just destroyed We Overslept in that first game, and maybe We Overslept is feeling some revenge going into the next trial. Shit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we seem to have lost little Rugard. He is here, but he's how do you say, frozen. Not like the movie. Frozen more like a photograph. However, we're going to go ahead and do a post-game review after Sam has finished up the scores. But just looking really quick, they had Rancor. So, I mean, if you guys don't know what Rancor does, once all the generators are completed, the obsession is exposed, and you can kill your obsession like a Mori. So it's essentially like a free Mori at the end of the game. And then we also have Hex Ruin, Barbecue and Chili, and Hex Undying. A very standard 3 perks there. You also see Forest Stew, moderately increases Victor's speed, and Madeline's Scarf, or Madeline's Scarf, slightly increases Victor's speed, which, I mean, all that makes sense. So, essentially, just really, really fast Victor around, and that's, you know, I've seen some other ones where it's like you increase the speed that you can switch between Victor and Charlotte, which is not unsmart either, but we saw them play with this really well and effectively, so I can't really complain too much about it. So I guess we'll go ahead and do the post-game review and take a look at that. Thank you so much for watching. You've been watching Vigo's Court. All right, folks, we're looking at division rivals today, Object of Depression, and We Overslept, going head-to-head. Both of these teams from last season as well, so they are both from the previous season. Welcome back. And this has been trial number 1. 3 generators got done in total by the Starver squad of We Overslept, with 0 people escaping. Not even a hatch escape at the end, unfortunately. A total of 8 hooks to finish the game off. So it wasn't a lot of hooks comparatively. It could have been more like 10 would have been nice. But, you know, still a high score, 4 points, 23-7 in favor of Object of Depression so far. And that's going to mean, of course, that Object of Depression is currently in the lead going into the next trial, trial number 2. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment as we get ready, as our survivors get ready. But yeah, let's take a look at some of these highlights. Sam, can you maybe give me some commentary on these highlights for a moment?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about the twins. I've basically been out of the game for, I don't know, 5 weeks. I haven't been playing much, trying to get the league set up. But from what I gather, she is typically a slugging killer, which is what we saw a lot of, slugging killer, or slugs. I do think that, you know, maybe getting a hook on FCKZ would have given this a little bit more distance between the two, but also, who knows, that could have prevented them from getting a gen done. Or that could have allowed them to get a gen done in the end. So there's really no telling, you know, what may or may not have happened with the FCKZ hooks. But yeah, I'm trying to make some shit up. I don't know nothing about twins. Like I just don't. I just don't. I have no clue. None. I haven't even looked into them. I don't know what builds are good on them, so I can't even really comment on things like the Rancor or the Barbecue. Actually, Barbecue makes a little bit of sense, but I'm not sure about the Rancor, whether that is or isn't a good perk. From what I understand, this is not his main. His main is a nurse, so maybe trying to come in with a less strong killer, because, you know, as it was stated in the chat, WoW still hasn't won a game yet in the league, so maybe not burning their top tier killers just off the bat because they think you know, WoW might be a little easier on them. However, from what I understand, they've gotten a lot better in the off season, and I'm excited to kind of see what they have to offer now moving forward, since they've had a lot of practice and time to gather their strategies, if you will. What did you think about what you saw, Poggy?
Way to hand it over, Sam. All right, so the the killer is one that I'm not overly adept with myself. I've played it quite a few times, though, and I think what we saw was just like really expert play all around. And Kieran in chat is saying, how could you not know about the mid-game use of Rancor? And of course, I didn't deny that it had mid-game use. I was just saying that its primary use seems to be the end game, which is, you know, getting the obsession down really quickly. But I mean, there is, you know, the auras that you get in between each generators for 3 seconds, which is, I mean, is it really that helpful? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that's why most people run it, personally. I feel like if I wanted just that, I would run like Bitter Murmur or something. But I don't know. I feel like this was overall a very well played game by Object of Depression, and We Overslept kind of struggled. They just kind of struggled to counterplay it. And I guess it's because the twins are still fairly new, and We Overslept maybe hasn't encountered them quite a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first correction, I'm finding out that he is not a nurse main. That was someone trolling. That was Zappy's butt kicker. Thanks, Zappies. But yeah, I have nothing to say. Yeah.
All right, well, our host is missing, so I guess I'm host for now. I don't know what happened to our good friend Rugard. He kind of disappeared on us, and he was frozen, and then he just vanished. So hopefully he'll be back soon.
He said he'll be back in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. We're going to go ahead and get on to the survivors that are now here. Let's take a look. So this is the other team now. Object of Depression will be surviving, and FXCKZ will be killing them. Well, I think he hopes so. And I Soaked in Bleach, Don't Come Near Me, Brizzo 3005, and The Real Zappies. Now, we have seen these names before, I think, except for the one on the right. The Real Zappies is a new name to me. But the other ones, I've seen them all before. And not just in preseason, but in the previous season. They have all been here a long time now and have some experience. So we'll see how they do. I hope they're pretty strong. I mean, they're all red rank, 2 rank 1s, and I Soaked in Bleach probably toggling between rank 1 and 2. So, I mean, last season they did pretty well as Survivor as well. So we'll see. And I think not Pogard, Rugard. They got me saying it now. Rugard is back.
Oh, no.
You are back and welcome. I'm going to let you kind of speak for a moment because I need a moment to breathe.
Yeah, I apologize. I've been having internet trouble recently where it just randomly cuts out on me, and I do not know what the issue is. I'm gonna have to start yelling at my ISP again. Anyway, besides the point. Okay, so I'm mad because right as that game ended, and I had there was so much in that game to break down. The pressure in the beginning was very slow. Like you said, splitting up the damage, hitting on different people. Oh, are we still reviewing it? Okay, good. So this is the same game. Cool. But yeah, going after different people, getting hits, downing different people, not committing to any one chase immediately, getting that first hook. But after that first hook, it seemed like there was a very slow snowball as the survivors never really reset after that. I never saw them get together, try and get a good couple heals off and try and reset the game. I think if they had tried that, they might have been able to come back. But they never did. And like you said, Victor was able to just go around and get hits over and over again. And then the one thing that Twins is good at is that you can zone and keep people away from those hook survivors. And we saw 2 hook progressions. Was that correct? I thought we saw 2 hook progressions.
Correct,
yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
So I have never really seen Twins at a high level, but that was some really good high level twin play in my opinion. I don't know what chat says because I'm having to catch back up on chat as well. But for never hardly seeing Twins in a competitive match, I thought that was really, really good and interesting.
Crap. Here we go.
What's up?
Oblivion nerd. Poggy said, Pogard, it's official. Please.
Oh, no.
I want all of this off the internet right now. Stop immediately. All right, there you go. There's your Beyonce.
No. No, you're good. Well, I didn't actually get to see the build at the end. What was the build that they were running? That was right when my internet cut out.
Undying Ruin Barbecue Rancor.
Rancor. Ooh, that's spicy because survivors know you have Rancor pretty early on because that one obsession is constantly getting little flickers of your existence as you go on. It's like, oh, they have Rancor, guys, watch out. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm curious if we get to have Zappies in to an interview. I'm curious what their choice for Rancor was Maybe it was because they didn't know how Twins was going to fare, and they just wanted to make sure that they have a really good chance of securing at least a 1K at the end of the game.
Or-
Just chase down that one person and kill him.
Or they're racist against Bitter Murmur. Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe. That could be. Ronan dying seems fair. I mean, you want to slow the game down as much as possible. And Twins, despite not being fast technically, they can harass gens like no one's business. Constantly juggling between the two. They might as well be a fast killer. I mean, yes, you have Victor, which is a mini Demogorgon, but he can be speedy. What did they take the speed add-ons, or did
That's
they take
a fun description of Victor.
Speed add-ons, yeah.
Mini Demogorgon? I mean, I have heard the argument that he is a better Demogorgon, and I don't know where the lie is. He's faster.
Well, I can't kick Demogorgon.
Fair. But
And
I don't know if they fixed it. Can he still jump over objects like he used to? Like vault over
Yes.
pallets to hit survivors from a distance? Oh my goodness, yeah.
we didn't see any of that,
Victor,
but yes, he can.
The only thing that I don't see him in comp play is because he's so, like, Twins are so new to the scene. I don't think anyone has really figured out the most ideal playstyle for a competitive scene. Maybe we'll see it soon. I would love to see that.
All right, Kieran, if you say so. I'm not disagreeing. I just don't run either perk. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. All right, folks, we're back. My name is Poggy. I'm going to be your counselor today. We're looking at division rivals, Object of Depression versus We Overslept. These guys cannot stop giggling at me. I don't know what's going on. They're just cackling in the background. All right, let's get back into it. We're going to be looking at this game in just a moment as we wait on this to load in. We're getting very close. This will be trial number 2 today for Object of Depression versus We Overslept. And I apologize. If my voice starts to crack, it's because we've been doing so many games and my voice is getting a little tired, but I'm doing my best. I'm drinking water and I might get some tea between games, but let's go. Let's go. All right, we have the real Zappies here, who is previously the killer, is now surviving. So yeah, Brizzo 3005, Don't Come Near Me, and FXCKZ here, and we see Legion, and we've actually seen this exact same knife on the previous Legion we just finished watching yesterday, which is kind of fun. A very popular knife, I suppose, for Legion, and he's not using his power yet to injure the players. There he goes. He's like, okay, they're all over here. We're going to do it now. So he's he's waiting for the moment, I think, and he uses his power effectively, trying to get hits on everybody, maybe? No, stopping it first. Now going to chase down, looks like Don't Come Near Me is going to be the victim. Doing a very nice pallet drop early, not wasting or taking any chances. I don't think FXCKZ is prone to respecting pallets, and these players probably remember that from last season as well. Now, let's see where he is off to now. He is chasing towards Killer Shack, and yeah, right over here by the cars. I think somebody got stuck on a car there for a moment. Brizzo 3005 now on a chase with our lovely FXCKZ. As we see a self-carrying eye soaked in bleach. And the real Zappy's working on a generator, and Brizzo running away, looking for safety, trying to get to a pallet. Perhaps going to make it, perhaps not. Let's see. It's pretty close. There it is. That could have been really close. If he had swung at that, it might have landed. I'm not sure. I couldn't see behind because these survivors are not looking behind them. But Brizzo is going to go down right there by the pallet, right on top of it. Very nice play by FXCKZ. Somebody in chat said tea is greater than coffee. Yeah, I mean, I like them both, but tea definitely is much better than coffee for, like, throat problems. Anyway, FXCK said, now in a chase, getting a first hook and 1 generator completed, so it is a 1-to-1 game so far, and we'll see how they do continuing forward as things take a turn one way or another. We see Real Zappies taking a hit at the Killer Shack window, now working his way back towards the back of the map. As I watch Brugard out of the corner of my eye, stuffing his face with something. Peanuts? I'm not really sure.
Brownie.
Is it brownie with peanuts? The Real Zappies.
Nope.
Shining a flashlight in the killer's eyes. I guess for like extra blood points or something. I don't really know why you would do that because you didn't get much distance. Dead harding for distance, which you maybe could have saved that if you hadn't blinded the killer instead at the pallet. But hey, you know, you do you, my friend. Fun fact, whenever you blind the killer at a pallet, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that by the time they're done kicking the pallet, unless you have add-ons for it, the blind is pretty much done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, I don't know if I really see a value in doing that. Maybe Real Zappies is a little new and just trying to show off. Could be. But they're not going to make this because Dead Hard is used and they're going down right by the generator. They're not going to make the window or the pallet, unfortunately. And that's going to be it for them. See, if they had Dead Hard there, they could have made that pallet. Something simple like that can turn the whole game around. And that goes all the way back to the flashlight blind. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just pointing it out. That's all.
Well, no, and also, good killers can hear you. It doesn't.
It's true.
Like, flashlight doesn't do anything.
My headphones are like $100 headphones, and I'm definitely going to hear exactly where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eye soaked in bleach. Gonna go down right by the pallet. Unfortunately, not gonna make it. That's a tough one to watch. As she almost had that pallet drop, perhaps, if she had just had a little bit of extra distance. And currently chasing who? Zarina, maybe. No, chasing the... Well, I guess that also is a Zarina. I'm not sure. Is this a Zarina? No, that's a Nia, right? Because don't come near me.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a Zarina's skin to me, but yeah, I guess I don't know. They all blend together. They all look the same. Here we go. Possibly going to get this started down. I don't think there's any pallet here left for them to use. And trying a very nice Dead Hard out the other direction. Beautiful play. Really well done.
Was that Dead Hard? I thought they just whiffed.
They turned around and she dead-hearted back the other direction. I have it clipped, and we'll take a look at that in the post-game, but I'm pretty sure that's what we saw. I soaked in bleach, running right into the killer for some reason. I think got a little bit confused as to what direction the killer was, perhaps, is what we saw there. Now, I don't want to dig too much into the killer's build just yet, since we don't necessarily want to give too much information away to the audience yet, but... We have seen Discordance, which is one thing we have noticed, and Hex Ruin for sure. So if you guys are paying attention, yeah, Hex Ruin and Discordance, it's just tracking, you know, using tracking perks to find where these survivors are whenever they're doing multiple gens together. Now, I think at high-level play like this, generally speaking, you just want to split up and do gens anyway, so Discordance shouldn't be as useful as it's being for them. I don't know. What do you think about that? I always feel like splitting up on gens is better than doubling up on gens, unless you have proved thyself, I suppose.
It's situational.
Yeah.
So like, if you know the killer as Tinkerer, doubling up on gens is great because that Tinkerer is not going to do as much. You're going to actually finish the gen before their Tinkerer timer is up, and so it just breaks them. I think Discord is more the information.
I'm sorry to interrupt. What was that? What was that?
I don't
Come on
know.
now. All right. They're new. They're new here.
I think they wanted attention. I think they wanted the attention.
It was cute though. I'll give it that. I mean, it made me pause. It gave me pause for a moment. Everybody injured again. Yeah. Eye soaked in bleach. Now doing some slug play. Apparently, this killer is slugging eye soaked in bleach on the ground, which makes sense. At this point, there's only 2 gens remaining, and you do want to start considering when to start slugging. And this is about the time to do it.
Hey,
maybe you get a confirmed kill or something like that. Go ahead. What's up?
Shout out to Death Metal the Deep Dark for the raid of 100. How's it going, guys?
Hey, thank you for the 100 raid, my friend. I appreciate that. Welcome. I hope you guys are enjoying the show as we continue our hello. Hey, thank you for joining the jury, X57X Bruiser. We appreciate it. Welcome to the jury, my friend. You are watching Vigo's Court as I continue watching FXCKZ chasing somebody. Ah, the other Nia. Right. Okay. So, and another generator popping. These survivors are not letting up. Despite the mistakes they're making, they're getting a lot of work done. Now, if he gets ice soaked and bleach down, which he did a moment ago, and I suspect he didn't hook him again because he was worried about perhaps a decisive strike, that will be a death hook. However, this is only first hook for Don't Come Near Me. As we see now, the killer is going to have a total of 5 hooks this game so far. And all generators now popping. Fantastic play by OOD, getting all the gens done, and only... Oh, the real Zappies could be the one to go down at the end here on second hook. Let's see how he does. Dead harding to the pallet for distance, but it wasn't enough. Going down as she drops it. That is unfortunate. And will be second hook for the real Zappies, as we see probably Brizzo and Isoaked and Bleach going for the unhook and perhaps opening a gate at this very moment, which I think is exactly what we're seeing. Isoaked and Bleach working on their gate at the very end. Now, this person is dead on hook, so they do want to be careful. And Legion stuck for a moment there, now back again. Ooh, trying to bait the hit, and does bait it, but then is going to go down right now by the hook. Brizzo going to be on second hook. At some point, I think these servers are going to have to stop being altruistic and just take their losses on at least one player. I think they just have to give it to the killer at this point. I don't know what you think about that, Rugard.
If they're coordinated, if they got borrowed time, they can definitely all get out of here.
Right.
But I agree. I think give this try and give it a 1K, but you might have to give the killer a 2K here. It
very well be maybe the case. These hooks
heal.
are very close together. These hooks are close together,
yeah.
And oh man, I just don't see it. I think they're gonna have to give a 2K, or they're gonna get too greedy and maybe even give them a 3 or 4 if they're not careful. They're gonna have to be very careful how they play this. These hooks are way too close together.
Up in time.
The real Zappies is going to go down for sure, and Brizzo is going to follow shortly behind. So take your losses and get out, folks. Get your escape points. Take your gen points. Don't get greedy. That's one of the biggest lessons you can learn in this league right now is just don't get greedy.
For sure. It's close enough. I think you just got to get the points.
Yep, that's exactly the play they're going to do. And it makes sense. I mean, that's the play I would have done as well with my team. Actually, I probably would have left much earlier than that. I would have said, let's just leave that last guy on the hook. But, you know, you do you, guys. You do you. I think they did pretty well overall. Let's go ahead and take a look at that build. Do you want to review that for a moment?
All right, so we got what we got here. Okay, so this is the first time I think I've seen Ruin Undying on Legion. I don't hate it. Legion can harass gens so aggressively. Honestly, he just any just heavy set of gen regression and surveillance too. Okay, so this was strictly informational. This was all about getting information about where survivors were at any given time.
Right.
Personally, surveillance and discordance feels a bit like an overlap to me. I'll have to ask him about that specifically in the post game interview. But
I was actually going to mention that, but I didn't want to say it during the game because I didn't want to give away too much about the build. But yeah, it does seem like a little bit of an overlap and maybe kind of not necessary to have both. I think they could have done with surveillance alone and probably had something else to, add on to it. Like, I mean, I'm just going to say it, Hex Noed could have probably won that game for them, honestly, at this point. But
potentially, yeah.
Because of the two Undying and Ruin, it would have been risky to bring it, but they didn't destroy any totems, really. I think maybe 1 or 2 totems went down in total.
Scores, right.
So, but, it depends on what team you're going up against as to when that's viable. But, hey, score is right, so let's take a look at this post-game and do a quick review. We'll be back and look at some highlights in a moment. All right, everybody, you're watching Division Rivals, Week 1 matchups versus Object of Depression versus We Overslept, and you're watching Vigo's Court. We hope you're enjoying the show today, folks. And let's take a look at this post-game review. So, what we just saw, we saw a total of 5 gens get completed in trial number 2. 2 more trials remaining today for this team, and then 2 escapes total, which is, half of them. So they did okay. 7 hooks, again, like half the hooks. So it's a very close game with a total of 2 kills. Very close game indeed. Let's see how that score looked. 18-16 in favor of Object of Depression, just barely for trial number 2. Object of Depression still leading into trial number 3, and we'll see how they do going into the next trial as we take a look at some highlights right now. Rue, why don't you walk us through this?
This is the Twins game, if I... Oh, you're fine. I guess, so the first thing I remember specifically with the Legion game was the initial frenzy getting 2 hits, but then stopping. I think that could have been potentially huge because they didn't end up getting the down because the survivor ended up running. I think it was the Dwight that they were after ended up running away, but that could have been huge because they were caught way out of position. There was only one pallet in that area in that loop, and all the killer had to do was break the pallet on the other side. Survivors in a dead zone, that could have been a very, very early down. I think the survivors were lucky that it didn't happen that way. I would have done the same thing in their position. The add-ons, I think, are correct. I use those add-ons, Extended Frenzy, and then the Cold Dirt for the best fatigue reduction, which is really, really strong. Survivors don't always expect it. I think if you're facing a Legion at this kind of level, you should probably expect Cold Dirt. If they exit Frenzy, you need to GTFO immediately because they're going to be coming after you very quickly. That's why I like Legion particularly because you can get everybody injured, and then that whatever person at any point in time after you injure them, you're like, okay, I think they're better position. I'm going to catch back up to them, get close, Cold Dirt, fatigue, and then we're going to start chase. If you're not in a loop within 5 seconds, I'm downing you.
Yeah.
Legion is really growing on me. I know that people say he's not the top tier killer, and I know that like really, really, really good teams can spread out and make him really feel like just a punishing killer to play because you're just not getting any action. But he's rough. Like if you get 3-gened, I feel like you're kind of just boned. Like how do you come back from a 3-gen against a Legion? He can constantly injure you. He can constantly pressure those gens, moving around every time, and then as soon as someone makes a mistake, they're down, you hook right there, they're getting camped to death because they're not going to leave the 3-gen. I don't know. I'm beginning to wonder if Legion might be like you said, I didn't see Pig being a big player, but right. Pig being like pretty good. I've been impressed with the Pigs that I've seen this league. Legion might be there. I don't know. We'll have to see.
And overall, can I say a few words?
Back and forth. Go for it.
Oh, I want to say a few words to whoever gave us the raid. I really wanted to thank you. You guys really helped us out with the viewer count, which is going to really spit in Sam's face because earlier he was saying, I don't think our 4 o'clock's going to do better than our 7 and 10, and here we are with 95 concurrent viewers. Sorry, Sam, but I guess that's not organic, so it doesn't count. Anyway, a little bit of a joke in the back end of the stream there, but now we wanted to thank you. If you haven't already, consider giving us a follow because we are going to be here for the next 7 hours doing streaming. We have 2 more matchups tonight, including the defending champions from last season, CDM. Creepy Daddy Michaels will be playing tonight as well. We'll see how they do going into their first game of season 2. But our other team right now, who is readying up, we overslept an Object of Depression. Let's go ahead and jump into that. Ruru, what are you seeing? I'm seeing the flashlight again.
This is the
first thing my eye went to.
Same flashlight. This is the exact same group of survivors we just saw. Different killer though. Not FX. Was it FXSC or CKZ? It's now G-Men. So
it's pronounced fuck Zed. I just call it FXCKZ because that's what's written there.
Oh,
just saying.
I get you.
That's how they pronounce it.
I mean, honestly, FXCKZ actually sounds kind of baller if we're being honest. My opinion, strictly, but now G-Man's on Mega Killer. I'm curious what they're going to bring. Right? Oh my goodness. Mega Man was oh my goodness. Don't tangent incoming. I'm going to defer that. Oh man. So yeah, I like the previous game. Very back and I guess after the tangent with Pig, very back and forth game. I for a while there I didn't know who was going to have it. Killer was mounting a ton of pressure there in the middle. Survivors got the save, practically reset almost, and it seemed like they finished that last gen, and then the Killer came right back and got 2 people. Very back and forth, very interesting, fun game to watch. I think that might have been one of the more fun games this first week, honestly. Just very back and forth and fun. And again, I'm partial to seeing Legion. Legion was the second main that I picked up streaming, and super fun, super aggressive killer. I understand that people are oh, he's boring. You just, run in a straight line and stab. Yeah, but how many killers can you say you get to run in a straight line and just stab over and over and over again?
He's a blood
I
point
don't
king.
know.
I'll give him that. Same with Hag too. Very
Oh,
blood
for
point,
sure.
blood point mastery. Those two.
Mhm.
Even if like
It's
I
Doctor
will
too.
I will get entity displeased a lot if I let people escape or whatever with Hag, like an idiot. But I will always get like at least 25k BP, like no matter what. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hag, Doctor, Legion, you use their abilities so much. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of BP passively that you wouldn't play in other killers. Like Billy, I would argue Billy is very tough to get your extra BP on because you don't get nearly as much for revving your chainsaw than getting pallet stunned. So no, yeah. Anytime I get to see a Legion game, I'm happy. I'm curious what G-Man's going to bring to this next one. This is again, from what I understand, a pretty overall balanced map. Okay, so that was the Dead Hard where you talked about right there. Is that the clip you're talking about?
Oh yeah, you want to go back to it? Yeah, sure. I think that was
Yeah,
oh,
let
it
me
might
see
have
that real quick.
reset. I think it might have reset. My
Reset,
apologies.
okay.
But yeah, there was
you're good.
we may get to see it again while we're waiting here, but there was a Dead Hard, and I will try to find the clip and post it later. Maybe we can talk about it because I am actually curious. It looked like she turned around and Dead Harded away because she got
Well, that's
quite
the
a
thing.
good bit of distance for just turning around and running the other direction. It looked like a Dead Hard to me.
But if we're seeing Brizzo right now, who was the person that did that, they don't have Dead Hard in their build. It's Sprint Burst.
No, that's a good point. That is a really I didn't even maybe it just looked like a Dead Hard.
I think it just looked like a really crazy looking 360 to me.
Yeah, it could have been.
I mean,
wow.
I don't disagree. In the moment, it looked like a Dead Hard too. That's why I was so confused. I was like, what did we just see?
That's a good point. You see, I make it a point because I know nobody can see the builds that I try not to look at the builds. So that way I'm getting
I
pretty
understand.
much the same information the audience is getting, other than when I looked at the killer builds because we knew what he had, But other than
Right.
that, try to
The other
avoid
thing
it.
too is that you were in the killer perspective too. So the killer perspective, you can't exactly see what the survivor's doing, especially when you're getting 360'd.
And good news, everyone. Good news, everyone. They're now readying up, and we're going to be jumping into the rules video really quick and then coming right back as we go to trial number 3 versus Object of Depression and We Overslept. Here we go. Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Alrighty, folks, we're back. My name is Poggy. I'm going to be your counselor for this evening still. I'm actually probably for the foreseeable future until we get another commentator. If you're interested, send us an email, league@vigoscourt.com. We're always looking for new people. Hosts, commentators, whatever you're interested in doing for us, helping in the back end, keeping score. We're looking for people, so email us. Anyway, we're about to go in right now. Let's take a look at this game scene. It's literally what it's called on my stream deck, game scene. Just that's why I said it that way. My apologies. Anyway, as it loads in, I'm wondering if we're going to see any more of those silly flashlight moments because that was really funny last time. It really distracted me from what you were saying. Let's see what we do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with this one right here, the real Zappies with the flashlight, the clicky, and I soaked in bleach going for their generator inside the building. We see these two together. Giving you a little friendly teabag, hello, that kind of thing. And a Freddy! Yes, it is a Freddy, ladies and gentlemen. I should have noticed that immediately, but I didn't look down in the bottom left corner, so I didn't notice the tick-tock clock. However, we do see Freddy setting up, as he is supposed to do, putting down some snares around the areas to... It also helps him with tracking in the opening, so if somebody steps in a snare after they fall asleep, he can very quickly figure out where they are. That's certainly one use of them, not the primary use of them, but is a use. He does immediately find the Fang, though, over here on this generator, and is going to be putting down snares. And again, you can't use the snares when they're asleep, so putting down these snares is mostly for posterity's sake, not so much for the chase right now, unless he gets the hit on them or they fall asleep while he's in the chase. And he hasn't yet caught up to anyone or gotten any hits, but we also have the survivors still kind of just working on gens. And now they are all going to fall asleep pretty much at the same time, but I do believe somebody missed a skill check on purpose to wake themselves up immediately, which is pretty interesting. Very strategic. And he does get a hit on the real Zappies. And I think we hear her running behind us in the killer shack, if I'm not mistaken, but he kind of just left that, which is an interesting choice, too. G-Men... maybe he needs to be the one to wake up, because I don't know if he heard that survivor right behind him. But yeah, he's going to go straight for the Fang, who broke a totem in his face. But we do see Hex Ruin is still up, so maybe an Undying in play here. And Freddy is still in the chase with Fang as she lines up for the chase at this pallet loop. These are not safe pallets. Oh, and getting stuck on the tire is going to get you down quick. Unfortunately, had got a little bit too caught up there. That's a tricky loop because of the hitboxes of the tires can be really difficult sometimes to work around, and it's very easy to mess that up, especially on console, I would assume. And we do see a dream projection inside of the garage, which is smart because that is where the survivors are, and he does know that from his perks, and I'm not going to say what it is yet. Never mind, I'll say it. Surveillance. Yeah, surveillance. Pretty much the same build we just saw the other guy do it. So Brisso now working on his generator. I'll just say it. It's okay. And we do see the real Zappies now in a chase at the Killer Shack as well. Injured, eye soaked, and bleached on first hook, and the killer gonna probably catch him right here. Oh, and a whiff! What? What was that? What just happened?
That might have been a dead hard into the window that didn't animate very well.
Jeez. So you're telling me Dead Hard can like make you invincible for that split second anyway? Like it just straight up?
There is a clip. There's a clip from Otz Darva where he threw the hatchet, but the Dwight dead-hearted mid-air, and so it denied it.
No wonder he has PTSD.
You can dead-hard at any time, technically, and it makes you invulnerable no matter what, even if you can't animate. It's super weird.
I mean, like, I kind of knew that, but I didn't know it was that OP. Jesus. All right, well, he's going to get ice-soaked and bleached down again right here at the hook as Don't Come Near Me was trying to get the unhook, but wasn't able to secure it and gets two people down. Don't Come Near Me going down very fast right next to the hook as well. Going for the two-man slug right now with Brizzo still healed and the real Zappies still injured as they're working on a generator with one generator completed. And perhaps going to get that one done, but he's teleporting right over to it, so not able to secure it, I don't think. She's committing for some reason, maybe because he wanted to take aggro, because she's the only one not injured. Which makes sense. I would probably do that too. Stick around to take aggro. And we do see Ice-Soaked and Bleach getting back up, possibly with Unbreakable. Gonna probably go down here again, though one of them probably is. Who's he gonna go for? He's gonna go for the Fang. That's probably the right play too, and he does bait out. That was a beautiful bait. That was a beautiful bait for the Dead Hard because he basically used his power to fake like he's going for a hit because he knew she was watching him. But she does have Decisive Strike and does go down, even though the Dead Hard did save her there, sort of. But that was a really good bait. And she just jumps into the chase.
Oh,
now we
no.
have two survivors in chase. That is not going to be good for these two. Who's going to be the one to go down is the question here. Neither of them, because Freddy's switching targets? Is he? Oh boy. No, he is sticking with Fang.
Oh, no.
Ice-Soaked and Bleach now still in the chase around the pallet she went down before as well. Now, it looks like she's playing a little bit better than she was last time. And getting a whiff right there at the pallet, just barely missing that. A little bit more turn to the left, he probably would have had it. But he wasn't quite around the corner far enough, and Fang just able to get right past him. This spot definitely going to be tricky. As we see him going back inside the building and doing a beautiful mind game on that to get the Fang down. Really well played. And a generator still popping. Even with all this pressure, these survivors are just popping gens. Really strong team. OOD is showing just how strong they are this season. And they were pretty strong last season too, so I don't want to discount them. But they've gotten even stronger, I think, this season.
Yeah, they recovered well from that little incident before where they had a down and a hook right there. Yeah. Oh, and they're resetting too. Wow.
Yeah, they're resetting. They got 3 gens done. I mean, this is an incredible showing right now. They're doing such a good job. And this is something we don't get to see too often is kind of this old school teams. We've been having a lot of the new teams come in versus the old school teams. So these are both old school teams. They were both here last season, and that's kind of fun to watch. These two teams go head to head again. because they went head-to-head a couple times last season too, and these games are pretty similar, actually. I'm kind of curious what it's going to look like, though, when we see the defending champions going up tonight. Creepy Daddy Michaels.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited for that.
I think Ice Soaked and Bleach is going to get a confirmed kill. Or, I mean, they're going to be a confirmed kill in a moment, maybe. Oh, but she's trying to bait a hit. Does bait the hit, barely. And does get the unhook at the last second. And then downing Ice Soaked and Bleach again. But we know Ice Soaked and Bleach no longer has Decisive Strike, so we can just pick her right back up and put her right back on that hook because she's already used it. So that is a free down and an extra point. So actually, the better play for the survivor there was just to let them die. Because Freddy was just going to down them again and hook them, and that would have just been a free hook. And that's extra points as opposed to just a death progression.
True. I'm wondering if they did it to try and buy time for one of their survivors to finish a gen.
Possibly.
Doesn't look like it, though.
No, everybody's injured now, and Don't Come Near Me throwing down the pallet early. Now waiting for the kick, is going to run to the other side past the wall of cars. And I think Freddy is possibly teleporting to one of these generators. Not this one. I thought he might have been teleporting to this one, and I think she thought the same thing. But instead, we see Freddy going inside the building. The real Zappy's going to have a little bit of trouble here if he's not careful. Does vault the window just in time, as we see Freddy do the same instead of opening the door there, which might have been smarter. We're not sure. Those doors do favor Survivor on the inside. This one does. Ooh, this is not a safe pallet. Oh, no. Going right down by the window. That is a very unsafe pallet. You don't want to stick around it too much. And that's probably exactly why they went down. Now, one of the things about spectating Freddy is his music will just bleed through your ears for days. It like compiles on top of itself. It's really weird, and it makes me feel like I'm in some sort of a children's choir. It's very strange. Anyway, the Real Zappies now on a hook. That's first hook for Real Zappies, as we see Zarina running to the
Kate. Oh, Cheryl. I'm sorry.
See? Cheryl, who cares?
I think it's yep.
I told you, they're all the same. They're all just little frickin' survivors. Screw them all. So I'm a killer, man.
They all must die.
You know, yeah, exactly. So Don't Come Near Me working on her generator right now in the inside of the building, which could get done fairly soon. Now, again, these survivors, even with 3 people left only, let's see how much they can do. How much damage do you think they can do? Do you think they can do any more gens or even escape?
I think they maybe got one more gen in them, but like Cheese and Chase, they might be done.
Yeah, moments like that are going to ruin it for you. That could be the end of that. That play right there could be the turning point for this 3 game. I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
It is.
And we do
if they
see
don't have
Megan.
Unbreakable. Yep, that's Meg.
That's Megan for sure. I recognize her whining. That is definitely Meg. A very nice play. A 3-man slug. Unless there is a Unbreakable, this is GG. Everybody always makes fun of me because I don't know the survivors' names, but to be honest with you, they all look the same. I'm serious. I mean, how different do they look really? Other than their base character, which obviously you can tell the difference between that. But once you start putting on custom skins... Racist. I'm saying they all look the same. The only one that looks different is Claudette because she's, you know, well, that would be racist. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Right. Video games have feelings too, you know.
Shut up.
Oh, wow.
No, they don't. Also, Claudette's the sexiest, by the way. Just, you know, just saying, I'm a Claudette main, and she is by far the sexiest. It's all that botany knowledge. I'm into that kind of thing. So, yeah, here we go. With the Real Zappy still on the ground for some reason. What is going on with that? Are waiting for DS or something?
Probably just baiting out DS or something. Yeah, just waiting it out.
That is interesting. Do they even have DS? Let's see. They do, but it's been gone
there was
for like
one
a good
DS
minute.
Eaten. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, it's gone now. GG's, guys.
Well,
really well played.
Better to wait than eat a 59-second DS.
I gotta tell you, I'm actually surprised that G-Man was able to turn this one out, like, because it was very close to being all of them out, and the way they were just playing it up and resetting, it was very well done, but unfortunately, he was able to turn it around midway through and get that confirmed kill, And is he going to kick catch? Is he going to kick catch? No, he's not going to kick catch. I just wanted to make
Doesn't
sure.
look like
Didn't
it.
want to miss a point.
Actually,
folks,
that
look at
might
that
have been
score.
the strat. That might have been the strat. Let those two die on hook, go find hatch, kick it, go hook that last survivor. Maybe, I don't know. I
They're
mean,
making,
no, there
they're making
wasn't
fun of me in chat
adrenaline.
again.
There wasn't adrenaline. That might have been
There was.
risky, actually.
There's 2 adrenaline. Yeah, it would have been a little bit risky to go for that. There's 2 adrenalines. And
right, so-
we see 2 prove thyself as well on 2 unbreakables. And I guess maybe they didn't, I don't know, they didn't use it. Strange. Or maybe they used it earlier. I think, no, they did use it earlier. That's what it was. Yeah. No, I apologize, folks. We're just having a little bit of fun with the banter. No, we're just having some fun. Don't worry about it. Moving on.
This was again a really fun back and forth. Yeah, I thought the survivors were going to pull it out, especially if
it
that
was
reset.
really, really
After
fun.
they reset, I was expecting it to, like, okay, this is where they stabilize. Corrupt's gone. They've got 3 gens done. They got to get 2 more. They almost finished that one in the corner too. Freddy just kept up the aggression, and I don't know where I can pinpoint that they went wrong. They had some chases that didn't go optimally, obviously.
Score's right.
No, they did. There was like maybe 1 or 2 moments where they made a mistake, but I mean, I don't think that was necessarily the turning point. I don't think it was like that. I think Freddy just capitalized and mind gamed really well, used his teleporting. But anyway, let's take a look at the post game, and we'll come right back and do some highlights review. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Week 1 matchups, Division Rivals, Objects of Depression versus We Overslept, folks. That's right. And as we continue on, we're going to be looking at trial number 3 right now. And we saw 3 generators get completed and a total of 0 escapes, unfortunately, all of them dying with a total of 8 hooks. A fantastic showing from the killer, getting 8 hooks. That's 3/4 of the total hooks possible, and 4 kills. Actually, no, 2/3 of the total hooks possible. 7-22 in favor of We Overslept that game. We Overslept was definitely leading in that game. However, I think overall, Object of Depression is still in the lead. But for that game,
it's very
We
close
Overslept
now.
leads. Yeah. So we'll see going into trial number 4. We Overslept leading after trial number 2. It's very close now with We Overslept 48-45 in favor of Object. So, folks, I'm going to take a break myself, and Rue is going to be going over some of these highlights.
Oh my goodness, where do we even start on this game? The Legion game was fun, but this game was also a roller coaster. The great start, Survivor side. Freddy was doing some work here and there, getting your hooks as you do, applying the pressure early game. Again, Killer in the early game doesn't have near as much pressure as you'd like. Corrupt helped a little bit getting those first hooks, mostly just baiting some chases. I did notice one chase, Freddy had Bloodlust too and decided to break the pallet. I don't know if I personally would have done that. I think I would just use the Bloodlust to get the down before it. Yeah, so that was a dead hard right there at the window. That's what I thought. So yeah, they dead harded into the window. Didn't show an animation because there's nowhere to go physically, but it does make Freddy whiff. Really, I don't know if I don't think I could ever do that as a survivor. I'm not that good, but I've seen survivors do that to me on Killer plenty of times. I guess the real turning point might have been making sure that this Fang died. They camped them, ate the DS, tunneled them back down anyway, put them on the hook. I think the survivors, that might have been the downfall for them, is not trying to make sure this Fang stayed protected and not get tunneled out of the game earlier on. Honestly, great plays on both sides. Survivors were just busting gens out so well, and even then that mid-game reset too was really strong. I don't know what you guys think. I'm curious if you guys have any thoughts in the chat, but honestly, this game was fun to watch. And then, closing the gap between the two with Object of Depression barely in the lead now with 3 points. Going into, I believe Object Depression is now on Killer for the 4th match. Is that correct, Sam? They're killing for 4th because they are home team?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll have to see what Object Depression does, because this is obviously not it's a close game. You have to bring a killer that you have to try and go for at least a 3K to try to hold your lead. If 2 survivors escape and you don't get that many hooks, I think We Overslept pulls ahead here, if I remember correctly. I think that's about the gap you get. So I think the killer has to go for a 3K. I'm curious what they bring out for it and who's actually on killer. Do we see who's on killer yet?
Shiny61, he's a beast. So yeah, we're going to be seeing Shiny61 going for it, guys. If you guys remember who Shiny is, we were desperate, I think, to get him in chat one time in post-game chats. And we finally did. And we were so excited about it. I'm excited to see him play again. We haven't seen him since last season, and boy, oh boy, he is one of the best killers in the league for sure. And they're readying up, by the way.
You're getting people confused now.
Am I?
You are. You're talking about Jay Warrior. Yeah, you're talking about King Pleb Warrior. Shiny used to come and commentate for us.
Oh, yeah. You're right. But Shiny61 is a really good killer in this league nonetheless. I mean, that part is correct, I think. I remember seeing him on the leaderboard at least once. But, yeah, King Pleb Warrior is who I was thinking of.
Thank you, Kara, for joining the jury.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that, Kara. Nice to have you in the jury. And here we go.
What are you doing, Kara?
Oh, my goodness.
Sam,
it looks like they switched up.
We're going to run the rules really quick. Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Hey folks, we are back and we are watching Week 1 matchup Division Rivals Object of Depression versus Vigo Overslept. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is match number 1 of today. We have 3 total today and trial number 4 at the moment. So after this one, we'll be coming back in about an hour and a half, maybe or so. And then we'll be doing, of course, some post-game interviews as well today. So stick around for those. And then we'll be back again at, what time is it? 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern for the next matchup today. And that's going to be trial number 4 is going to be the last one, and then we'll do our post-game interview. So yeah, like I said, hang out for that, and here we go. And Shiny61 bringing Freddy.
Ooh.
So that's 2 Freddys today. 2 Freddys in one day.
I'm not surprised.
Me neither. So he's just doing his early game setup as usual, something we see Freddy always have to do. He has to set up his snares around the map, which is exactly what the other Freddy did as well. And Shiny61 getting a very early hit on Salty Medic, who is now running inside the building as we see the Survivor friends going inside their gens all over the place. They are not coupled up on gens, they're split on gens. And we'll see how that plays for them. Salty Medic being very careful around this. I don't think he did, no. I put down a snare, that's what it was. He must have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he puts down the snare. It does slow her down, but she is able to get some distance. Salty Medic working his way to the next pallet. It's going to be enough. Salty Medic being very careful not to get downed here. These are short loops. These cars are very short loops, but you can see the killer, so you can't mind game it too well. If you have good reactions, you can do exactly what we just saw there, which is going back and forth with the killer as he goes around and around, and that kind of screws it up for you. But Kush Bandit Gas, an interesting name, by the way, getting a hit off of the Freddy, and we see Freddy teleporting across the map to another survivor. So he is keeping himself busy, and we see a generator popping already. Trying to get a hit. I would hope that by now Freddy would have had a down, but we don't see him getting an early down, unfortunately. But Freddy's snowball potential is huge, and we do eventually see him get the hit on G-Man 4674. And he's going to teleport again, leaving them behind. Now getting a hit on FXCKZ. Now everybody's injured, so they either have to reset and heal, or he's going to get some very quick downs on these players. And he is going again for Salty Medic, who has a safe loop unless this is kicked. And he is not going to... Yeah, he's going to kick it. Okay. At first, I thought he was going to just leave it, but then he decides, no, it's probably better if we go ahead and kick this. Just go ahead and get that out of the way, because Salty Medic will abuse that, I'm sure. But Shiny61 is going after the Fang, who... No, he's switching again back to Dwight. He's having a little bit of trouble committing, and now he's projecting away, but faking it. Instead, going in dead hard, going into the down. Very nice play, and going to try to stop Fang from healing, but... Yeah, he's very unpredictable. This Shiny61 is playing very difficult to follow. Which, you know, I'm cool with that. It actually makes for more interesting commentary, I think, because I have no idea what to say.
Ooh, that's done, though.
Really well played. That was a good stun, yeah. That's exactly what you want to do with that pallet, is kind of get the stun so you can get that extra distance. Otherwise, you're probably going to get hit or go down on your way out the door. So that stun really does help make sure you get that extra distance out the door. FXCK is looking for the slug. Fully healed. The survivor is completely resetting. Getting some gens done as well. They're not pushovers, these guys. Object of Depression struggling to make headway. We do see Shiny get a hit again, but again, they just reset, so everybody's completely healed back up. He still hasn't gotten a hook. He left G-Men on the ground. And we see them completing a generator, just leaving G-Men to bleed out. I wonder what the play was there from the survivors, just leaving him to bleed out. But we'll see if they're going to pick him up now. And I think that's exactly what they're doing. We can see their little bar blipping red, which means they're getting healed. And we do see FXCKZ finally getting on a hook.
I love the wake up sound. Just like the scream, then they woke up.
It's like, oh, hey, where am I? A G-Men doing a dead hard for the window, doing that for distance, of course. That is the smart play there. That's exactly how you're supposed to use dead hard, or at least one of the ways. He's going to go around the long way. This is an unsafe area. Don't do it like that. I would have dropped that pallet earlier, but that wall can be unsafe. Freddy can mind game it very easily. And that's exactly what we saw, as G-Men going down right there by the pallet. And going to be on first hook. FXCKZ getting a heal. Everybody reset yet again. Kush Bandit Gas crouching around here, trying to avoid getting seen. Shiny61 finding instead the person. The person here.
Yui.
Salty Medic. Yeah, Yui. And Salty Medic probably knows how to play these a little better, but he does mind game it very effectively. Beautiful play there by Freddy, able to get Salty Medic down quickly. Salty Medic is usually pretty good about that. Yeah, she did. That was a beautiful backflip, by the way. Beautiful. She's been working out.
She stuck the landing. Haha.
Oh. Oh.
Too soon? I don't know. Good one? Okay, folks. Now, what are we going to see Freddy do? What's going to be the play? He's going to chase at Killer Shack. Interesting choice at 3 gens remaining, and gets stuck on the wall a little bit trying to do some mind gaming. Didn't really work out, but Dwight leaves it anyway. Not really committing to that chase. Probably smart. I wouldn't have stuck on that chase for too long either. Killer Shack is going to waste a lot of your time if they know how to play it right.
For sure.
And once again, we see this unsafe pallet, but Fang playing it a lot better than we saw in the last game, where she's actually going to use the window to lie the way. Which is exactly the right play, as her little dongling head coming over this way towards Salty Medic to get him off the hook. Very nicely played. I love the way their heads just dongle like that, or dangle, or whatever the word is.
Bobble, maybe? I don't know.
Bobble, yeah, sure. Bobblehead. And FXCKZ taking a hit. Gonna probably try to get some distance. By the way, we have 69 viewers right now.
Nice.
I see 78.
Yeah, me too.
Why do you
wasn't gonna say
gotta
anything.
ruin it? Why do you gotta ruin it, Sam? Why? I'm looking at the dashboard and it says 69, so I'm going with what the dashboard says. All right, folks. Now, where is the survivor? She's outside. That's right. You guessed correctly, and she's going to probably vault this window. Yep. He predicts correctly, but even that read wasn't enough. She might be able to... Yeah, she's going to have to drop that pallet. I was going to say, she's probably going to make that pallet, and she does. She does drop the God pallet early.
Ooh, they misclicked.
A little bit of a misclick there. Ooh, and a grab on G-Man 4674. I think he was committing to it, thinking he can get it and maybe take a hit for it, but that's going to be second hook for G-Man.
It wasn't even 70% done. There's no way he could have committed to that.
No, maybe he just wasn't paying attention. That could be. Maybe he fell asleep. Maybe. I mean, you're right. It was not hardly done at all. The team name is We Overslept, so he could have just overslept.
True.
Salty Medic taking I think a borrowed time hit or a Styptic agent. I'm not sure which one it was. I'm pretty sure they were not on a hook. There's so much happening in this game, and these Freddy games are just really hard to follow, but my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Shiny is just all over the place. He's like very good at going up to a place but not completely committing to where it's like a complete time waster, and then saying, you know what? No, this isn't the right play. I'm gonna rethink it and go for this other one. Like he's very good at doing that, and we see him doing exactly that now with 4 hooks, only 3 gens done. They've been stuck on 3 gens for a good few minutes now, guys. We're at almost 10 minutes in this game, and they haven't gotten another gen done yet.
They keep spreading out, but he just keeps juggling them.
He's doing a very good job of that. Yes, he's keeping them guessing. He's keeping me guessing. Like I mean, I mean, I can't imagine how this is for the survivors. Their communications must just be mayhem. I just like trying to understand what to do. Like, he's coming for me. No, he's not. Oh, he's coming for me again. No, he's not. Like, he's just, it's got to be mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
And we do see him lining up for the chase with the Dwight, who's going to work his way back here towards this loop. And is going to, not drop the pallet right away, which may be a mistake. He might have to take a hit here. Does bait the swing, though. Very nice play by the Dwight to bait the window hit. Is going to drop the pallet. Finds himself on the correct side of it as he gets away to the next loop. Giving the survivors a nice chance to recover as well. To a dead zone, yes. He is working his way to a dead zone. But Freddy teleported away and got a hit on FXCKZ while we were looking away. So he went to a dead zone, but Freddy didn't capitalize on it. And now we see Freddy coming over to this generator in the middle. Getting now a down on Kush Bandit. Very nice play. Brizzo says, watching this stresses me out so much. I'm feeling it too. I feel like you guys are wondering why I'm so off, and it's not for any particular reason other than it's just hard to follow. Now, we did see her pop her Styptic agent, and he is waiting it out. He is waiting out those 8 seconds very carefully. And he is going to get a grab out of the locker, unfortunately.
Yeah, these survivors need to get a gen done. They're falling behind.
Freddy is the only killer who can chase 2 survivors at once. Yeah, you're kind of sort of right about that. Yeah. Sort of metaphorical,
really? I thought that was
but
twins.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, twins, I guess, is the new ones that can do it too. I forgot about the twins. Even though we just saw them today, I already forgot about them. They're just a forgettable killer for me. I don't know.
I think
so
Huntress
right.
can too.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, well, maybe also hack. I don't know. Or we'll just stop saying words. Let's just stop doing that because clearly we're bad at it. So now instead, Freddy's going to go after G-Man again, who will be dead on hook, by the way. In fact, every survivor except for Kush Bandit is dead on hook. I'm pretty sure that was first hook for Kush Bandit. And we see FXCKZ still hanging out. And this could be the turning point for the game. This could be the point where Freddy is now trying to close in and lock it down.
Mm-hmm.
As we see
Looks that
FXCKZ just now getting off the hook. Seconds to go on that timer and is able to secure the unhook. Doing a little mind game there. Is able to get it. Dwight coming back the wrong way, but he's going to dead hard forward toward the window. It's going to be enough distance, though, as he's able to vault this. Baiting the vault. Oh, very nice play by Dwight. But it's not going to be enough. He is going to go down by the rocks, almost getting a 360 whiff, but it's not going to be enough. G-Men 4674 are like suddenly becoming god tier for a moment there. After he got off of a gen grab. That was an interesting change of pace for him. Maybe he actually woke up.
Ooh.
And a very nice dead hard by Ace, who's now going to go down behind here in this dead zone as Freddy is going to probably teleport to go get some more hits or go for a down. No, he's going to go for salty medic hits because he's sick of that survivor doing gens. He's like, no, I want to hold it at 3. We're going for world records here. Ooh, nice. Could have gotten a hit there if Salty wasn't careful, but she was paying attention. And is not going to go down. Instead, dropping the pallet, getting the stun. Let's switch over scenes here. I want to see what they're doing. Yeah, G-Man getting back up off the ground. That could have been a death hook. I would have maybe, as killer, taken that death hook myself, personally, but I get where his head is
100%.
at. I get where his head is at. But that death hook would have been way more worth it. And does get the down FXCK side, who, by the way, is also on death hook. So, fun facts for you guys. Is he actually going to hook someone? Or, like, what's the plan here, dude? What's the plan here, Shiny? Come on, man. There we go. There we go. Let's get some hooks, man. There you go.
They got a,
I mean,
they got a gen, though.
Yeah, they just got a gen, but, I mean, it's been, like, a 6-10 minute gen almost. Let's be real. So, I mean, that's... I don't see them getting another one. They're going back here together to reset. How cute. They all look so cute together. I feel like they should have done this reset quite a long time ago, but Freddy didn't really let up any pressure, so maybe didn't really give him a chance to do that. In fact, that hook was the only time he's really given them any chance to reset, and now doesn't know where they are. Kind of hunting them down. They're going to have a chance to reset here completely, but he does hear them healing. Ooh, going for a swing, but they're a little bit too far back. Does find this one just barely unhealed. I think she's like maybe like 99% healed. Didn't quite finish it. Kush Bandit taking a hit for her. That was very nice of him. Very gentlemanly, you might say. And as Freddy continues to chase back to this now dead zone, the only thing here is this pallet that's dropped and this one window, which isn't particularly unsafe or safe. It's sort of in between. But with everything around it being pretty much non-existent, it is a dead zone, and she does go down. Salty Medic going down right by the pallet. Not going to be enough, guys. Not going to be enough, and I think this is going to be starting to see GG. Starting to see the close here. Object of Depression closing that score gap completely. Well, I guess opening the score gap is more apt. But, yeah. The survivors did really well. I mean, I'm not going to hate on it, but I'm pretty sure that it's game over now. I don't think they're going to be able to finish these gens and get out. At best, we might see a hatch escape, but that won't be enough points to really bring anything forward for We Overslept. But I will say, on the other hand, if you saw We Overslept last season, this is definitely an improvement on their games. This is definitely an improvement. They've done a lot better this season already since they did last season. And it's nice to see that. It's nice to see them improving over time. So, ladies and gentlemen, he goes down. He's going for the 4-man slug, which I kind of expected. Shiny 61 is kind of notorious for that. I would personally just take the hook and then go for wherever the hatch is. I just don't like to waste the time. I don't see the point in it. It's like just an extra hook or whatever. But I'm just not greedy. You got to go for that hook average. I'm just not greedy. I'm just not. And G-Man 4674 is dead on hook, though.
For me personally, I would try to go for the hook average just because it's a pride thing, but I understand what you're coming from.
I get it. I mean, it's like, I'd be like, okay, we won. Let's just move on, you know? But, like, I see you. Oh, let's get on the leaderboard. We got to be super pro elite, you know, to get good, that kind of thing. But it's just not for me. I'm not that competitive. I'm competitive where I want my team to win, but not so much that I care about how high on the leaderboards I am. But some people are, and more respect to you. He found hatch, by the way.
So real question is, all right, so Dead by Daylight fantasy draft win?
For the record, this has been a 18-minute game now, 17 minutes, 30 seconds to be more precise. He is going to go ahead and take, I think he might have been listening to me. He's like, all right, Poggy, fine, I get it. We'll go ahead and give him a hook, you know. Like, He may have been listening to me. I'm sorry, Shiny. I wasn't criticizing you. You can take as long as you need to, brother. It's your game. You're in control. I was just pointing out this isn't how I would play. But you do you, man.
Rue, don't get my brain working like that. Now I'm thinking about fantasy Dead by Daylight.
Hey, we got the stat
does find
tracking.
G-Men.
We can do it.
Going in for a final chase with G-Men. G-Men is not going to be able to get the unhook because Kush Bandit is going to go ahead and kill themselves to avoid that extra point, but it's not going to be fast enough. He's going to go down right by the hatch.
Oh no.
G-Men, oh, you tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Really well played, though. And adrenaline, holy shit!
Oh my
Clutch
god!
adrenaline play. Really nice. Giving him some tea bags. And a little nod there from Freddy. Very nice plays all around, folks. GG's, holy shit. That got very exciting. Now, I think if he had been a little further away, that adrenaline might have been more clutch than it was. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You saw it here first. Only missing one hook. Shiny 61, I told you he's a strong killer. Oh, so it's not like I forgot he was a strong killer. I just forgot he wasn't the same killer I was thinking of. But, yeah. Holy crap. 32,000 points. Only 1 point away from a perfect Vigo score as well, by the way.
That was
2 points away.
Oh, man.
Whatever, Sam. Just whatever, okay? I
That
meant one hook
game.
away. One hook away from a perfect Vigo score, okay? Is that fine? Can you get off my back about it?
No. Get it right, bitch.
Oof. Salt in the booth. Salt
Do
in
you
the booth.
want to go ahead and do a quick comment on this build? I mean, I'm seeing Discord and surveillance again, which is making me cringe a bit, but maybe you can comment on that.
I don't understand it. I'm gonna have to ask these guys what is the idea, because we saw both teams run this, and I'm like, if I remember correctly, it was Legion that ran this previously as a surveillance in Discord. Now I'm curious, is this different? I don't know. I'm gonna ask these guys what's going on with this. I don't understand it, but maybe they can enlighten me. That's a good post-game interview question if I can get them in. One thing I will say, I think the biggest MVP for Freddy this game, I'm not going to say Freddy played bad. Freddy played very well, mind gaming, juggling survivors. Ruin Undying murdered these survivors this game. They didn't, I don't think they even tried to cleanse it. And because Freddy can jump back and forth, he's got those really close together generators in that area. He was juggling them. They had to break Ruin. I don't think they would have gotten out of this game if they, without Ruin.
All right. I actually agree with you, but we're going to take a look at that a little bit more after the post-game review, and we'll look at some highlights. And I want to hear more of your thoughts, Rue, so just hang tight, and we'll be right back.
Right.
All right, folks, that was Week 1 matchups, division rivals, Object of Depression versus We Overslept. And yes, folks, you saw it here on Vigo's Court. And that was trial number 4, with a total of 3 generators getting completed that trial by the Survivor Squad. No escapes, unfortunately. A very close game at the end where maybe Dwight could have made it, but 11 hooks, ladies and gentlemen. 11 hooks and 4 kills. Phenomenal plays by Shiny 61. A total of 77 to 54 in favor of Object of Depression. Phenomenal scoring all around. Object of Depression is convicted of murder. Really well played. Really well played. Let's take a look at some highlights. And Rue, I want to get your thoughts on these highlights. What do you think?
One thing before, just jumping straight into highlights. While that score may have a large gap at the end, this was really, really close up until the end. That final game seemed to decide a lot. They had good comeback. It was back and forth. This, like I said, after the third game, it was anybody's game in my opinion. Just Shiny on Freddy came out and they dominated. They did so well this past game. Again, just the mind games, constantly juggling between survivors. Surveillance. I just now realized the what do you call this? The synergy between using surveillance and his teleport. Teleporting to a gen If he sees that it goes from red to white, he's like, oh, someone is there and just left. I'm going to cancel my ability because they got off the gen like I wanted to. It's honestly, this is a really synergistic build. I don't know. Again, I don't know if I agree with Discordance personally. Maybe it's just because they're really worried that they're going to, have two people jump on a gen. They're not going to see the surveillance activate in time. They're not going to see the two people jumped on it, and it's going to be done before their eyes. Maybe that's the thought behind it. Again, I'm going to ask about it too. But
I was thinking like maybe it could be a backup to you missing surveillance in the moment. But I don't know. It's not hard to see surveillance, really. I mean, it's just not. But again, in the heat of the moment in games like this, I guess it could be easy to miss it. So I don't know. It's a questionable decision, but maybe a good one.
Yeah, it's also not that difficult especially with Freddy specifically. Like Legion, sure, but Freddy can again just I would just coin the term love tap a gen. Oh, I'm going to go over there. Oh no, I'm not really. I'm just going to back out my power. And get a chance to see if surveillance goes off or not. This game would have been completely different if survivors from a very early point, like they wouldn't have got many gens done in the early game. But if they had gotten rid of Ruin Undying, this game would have been entirely different.
Right.
Maybe look at PGS, take a page from their book, and maybe cleanse totems next time.
PGS is notorious for the totems are gone in like a minute with PGS. Like they'll just all tunnel them down. It's insane. They don't care. They don't care if it's haunted ground. They'll do it. Actually, if you're playing against PGS, bring haunted ground because then you're probably going to get them to cleanse it. So just a thought. Yeah. Not trying to play against them, but hey, you guys better start watching out. I said it here, and somebody's going to do it.
Oh man, saw some really good dead hards this game. There was even one dead hard that Freddy managed to lunge through and get. It looked like, but just really good chases overall. Like the survivors weren't horrible in chase necessarily. They made some mistakes here and there, and Freddy capitalized on it well. But like both sides played really well. I genuinely think the biggest backbreaker for survivors, they didn't go after the totems. If they had, Freddy wouldn't have been able to mount near as much pressure. His surveillance would have been shot. At that point, if they had cleansed it, I would understand why Discordance would be useful, because Discordance is your only use of information at that point.
I think I agree with you completely, except for maybe one or two plays by G-Man, especially that one where he was just sat on the gen and got grabbed right off of it. Like, I don't understand what happened there. Like, what was that about?
No idea.
But, besides that, I don't think those were game-turning moments, per se. I mean, you could argue any one... I don't think you could argue any one play was game-turning in this. I think it was just sort of a progression in Freddy's favor in this case. But moments like this right here are kind of, what ended up leaning in Shiny 61's favor. I mean, that's ultimately how it goes. It's like a little bit of weight in his favor, a little bit more weight in his favor, and it just stacks up and stacks up. So that's what we saw happen. Anyway, continue your analysis.
We have some interviews in here. We have some interviews.
Do you want to move on to interviews? Okay, we can do that.
Yep. To start out with, we're going to talk with the losing side. We overslept. We have FCKZ in here with us. Zed, you there?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, we're doing wonderful. How you doing?
I'm all right. That loss stings a little bit, but
I know y'all were so close. That was such a close game until Shiny got in it, and I feel like Shiny came in with a chip on his shoulder. He's like, I'm not whiffing this season. Mr. Whiff coming in going, I ain't whiffing. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about.
We got him to whiff quite a bit, so I don't know.
There wasn't any of those like game breaking whiffs like with the totem last season though,
Right.
Yeah, and I mean almost a perfect game. He came so close to getting that.
No, yeah, Shiny played really, really well.
Yeah. So what do you think where do you think your shortcomings came from?
We didn't tackle totems, I think, is what lost us the second game.
Really? Totems is what you think did it for y'all?
He got so much ruin value because he had the swing chains and the jump rope, right? So ruin value like basically doubles.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but
and with Freddy, I mean we were all really weak, so we had to leave the gen as soon as he started teleporting. Even if we knew he was gonna fake it, like we had to leave. So any progress we had was just immediately diminished.
That was hard. That was hard because I was like, I was kind of rooting for y'all. I want to see y'all win that first game. You know what I mean? And then Shiny's like, nope. Sorry, guys, not today.
No, but we're not super upset about it. I think this showed a lot of our growth. I think, last season's not happening again. You know what I mean? So.
So you're stating it here and now. You're gonna get your first win this season, huh?
We can get it next week.
Oh, who y'all play next week?
Sample text.
Oh, that's a bold statement, son. That's a bold statement. They're good. Did you watch them?
No, I know they're good. I don't know. You know what I mean? Even if we don't win that, I'm just saying it's not happening again.
Oh man, I'm excited to see y'all play sample text now. Laying it down thick. Just putting it all out there. We're gonna beat sample text. I love it. So you played Killer as well, right, Zed?
Yep. I played the Legion game.
Actually, I'm gonna let Rue talk to you about the Legion game.
Actually, can I interrupt for just a second? Just a second.
Go.
I just want to say we are at 299 followers, 1 follower away from 300. We would love it if somebody is in here who hasn't followed us yet. If you could just get us over that 300, because that is making my OCD curl. But thank you so much for all the support, guys. I'm going to go ahead and let him continue.
I also want to wait real quick just to highlight something. We started this week at 174. So we almost doubled our followers in 6 days.
Also, if you guys want to go a step further and annoy Poggy even more, have 2 people follow, so it's 301.
Yes. Or you could get 70 people to follow, so it'd be 369, and we'll all be happy.
Hey.
I quit. I'm done.
Oh my word. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So Legion, being the killer man that I am, I love Legion. Do you play Legion often? Is this a main for you? Is this someone that you've picked up recently? Is it an old love? What is Legion to you?
Legion to me, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I have a main in general. I just kind of play. My team has learned over time. Last season we did a lot of prep. Every week I knew what killer I was playing, and then we started kind of just letting me play what I feel that day, if that makes sense. So if I'm feeling it, it just tends to work out better. Because I could prep something all week and then day of, I'm like, I don't want to play that. And then I'll play it anyway and just play bad. So I was just kind of feeling Legion today. I don't know.
All right, mood. I get that. Second question, because both you and Shiny's Freddy did this. I've never personally seen this before, but again, I'm fairly new to the league. Discordance plus Surveillance Ruin Undying? Why Discordance? I'm curious, because I would imagine that Surveillance does that work for you most of the time.
So Discordance was a meta call for Object of Depression. I went in understanding that they do like to stack a lot. So I needed to know, like, as far as like a sense of urgency of how fast that gen is going to get done in comparison to normal.
That is a fair point. Okay. So it's a meta call. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that a lot.
Do you think they answered back with the same perk because y'all ran it? Or do you think that it's the same thing? They recognize.
I mean, with Freddy, it makes more sense too, because Freddy can just stop it immediately, if that makes sense, right? You have to stack against Freddy essentially with Ruin Undying and jump rope swing chains, so he just knows where we are at all times because of Discordance. So yeah, that perk can give you a lot of info with Freddy especially.
Okay. Well, thank you for the explanation, because I was failing to come up with one myself initially looking at it. Okay, so meta choice and Freddy getting stacks. Okay, fair enough. Cool. That's
Zed, if you would just wait around for a second. You know how this goes. We're gonna come back to you here shortly. I'm gonna go ahead and pull Zappy's in here because I think Shiny's the one we want to talk to last. He's the man of the hour, if you will. So let's go ahead and get some love towards Zappy. Zappy, you with us?
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm vibing. How are you doing?
I know you were vibing with your flashlights and your tea bags and your general toxicity, but in a fun way, like not in a mean way at all.
I'm not toxic. What do you mean?
That was a little toxic. Good job. So tell me a little bit about your killer game, and then we also want to hear about the flashlights.
So going into that game, I didn't actually know what I was going to play until like an hour before, and I picked up Twins like 2 days ago, and I was like, wait, can I swear?
Yeah,
Or-
I don't care.
Yeah, I was just pretty much like, fuck it, let's just do it anyway and see how it goes. And I played a bit sleazy, but that's just my playstyle. I like to choke them out, and I mean, I didn't play as dirty as their Freddy, so that's all that matters.
Well, it's also kind of play style that the twins requires. You need to slug a little bit to get real value.
Oh,
out of
yeah.
the twins.
I mean, I could have changed my add-ons and made Victor a bit slower and had like the Oblivious status and stuff like that, but overall, I think after 2 days practice, it was fine.
Still, my favorite moment it was getting to see Victor get kicked. I don't even care how the match went. I just like watching Victor get kicked. It just makes me happy.
It's a shame I had to kick the survivors the same way.
I mean, all this time we've had relatively not much we can do against the killers besides a stun here, stun there, and some flashlighting. But man, it's so satisfying to see a survivor whip that leg back and turn the head.
And then DS Unbreakable borrowed time at the end when the gates are open. But that's all. That's all. Sorry, I have PTSD.
1 second. Zayden Seals, welcome to the jury. Thank you very much.
That's a good friend of mine, Zayden. Hey, Zayden, how you doing? So yeah, man. Yeah. So on Survivor's side, bringing the flashlight, I don't know that it actually helped you. In fact, I think one of your downs was a culprit of the flashlight.
Oh, my job with the flashlight isn't to do any fancy plays. It's just to be annoying as fuck and piss them off, pretty much.
Yes.
Like, as long as, like, if I, like, there was one point where I was just chilling at Killer Shack clicking, and then he came back to me. I still went down, but we still got, like, a gen or two from that. So it's like, I mean, I think the main thing to point out is what I noticed when I came out of game is you guys were questioning Rancor.
We were kind of, I don't know that we were questioning it in the sense of, like, you didn't get to use it, I think, is really more than anything. And then someone said a joke about it being a mid-game perk, and we were just like,
it is a mid-game perk. The expose isn't what you actually play it for. You play it for the vision you get when they pop a gen. You see all survivors.
Yeah, but you could get that off a Bitter Murmur.
Bitter Murmur, though, you can't outplay. Like, you get mind games from the positioning of a Rancor.
I mean,
you know exactly, like, pretty much where they're going to go, and you play around that.
Yeah, that's fair as well.
It's the same with an exposed guarantee kill at the end.
It felt like they were trolling with calling it a mid-game perk. I don't guess I've just ever thought about it as a mid-game perk. I've always thought about it as
you're trolling, bro. You're trolling,
essentially. Huh?
You're trolling, bro.
I'm not. I've just never thought about it as a mid-game perk. I'm not arguing with it. I'm just never thought about it that way. I just don't like it. I'm just not a fan of Rancor. It doesn't. I've never gotten much value out of it.
Rancor clearly doesn't like you. I'm gonna Mori you next time I see you.
Oh, yeah, good luck. You might not even see me. So,
Yeah, one thing I will say, didn't Rancor get reworked a while back?
I don't know. I literally picked up the perk 2 days ago.
Okay, fair. Fun fact: Rancor was originally going to be called Hatred. They decided to change the name. I don't know why.
Well, I got some hatred for Zappies. What up, bitch?
Another fun fact.
When will the commentators stop being so biased? That's the bigger question.
Hang on a minute.
Never.
I was not
you can't
biased.
Stop me.
But I will say it's also called Hatred still. Like, the actual image of the perk is still called Hatred, like .jpeg or whatever, or .png. So, a little fun fact.
Also, Poggy, my call was answered. We have 301 followers, so your OCD is still triggered.
Yeah, and as far as quote unquote bias going, it's not intended, I swear. It's never intended. It's just strictly the situations y'all find yourselves in. I'm either rooting for the underdog, mainly as a joke more than anything. It's never intended to be a real rooting for the underdog.
I'm just here for the memes, don't worry.
And then there again, the other situation y'all find yourselves in is going up against teams that are just so good, it's really hard to say one way or the other. So we don't call it one way or the other. We're just kind of like, let's see what happens. So
I mean, speaking of good teams, like Sample Text and CDM and us, top 3, no doubt. Easy.
I didn't put y'all in the top 3 in my rankings last night, but after that showing from Cormac, I might have to reconsider that. I definitely might have to reconsider that. We haven't seen Port Mafia yet. I'm pretty sure Port Mafia is going to blow some people away after what I've seen them
Port who?
do in some of the scrims. Port Mafia.
Yeah, I've scrimmed against them. They are good.
Yeah, they're really good. But anyway, stick around for a second, Zappy. We're gonna come right back to you.
No worries.
Let's hear from Shiny real quick. Shiny, my man.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Whiff King himself. How you doing, brother?
I'm not doing too bad. How's you?
I'm doing all right. I am super proud of that game you just played. That was nasty. You had, I think it was Zed on the ground at one point, and I was just like, hook him so you can get the perfect game. Just hook him so you can get the perfect game. Do it. Come on, do it. And you didn't get that perfect game, but you were so fucking close to it. It was disgusting. Coming 2 points short of a perfect game.
Well, honestly, at that stage, I had lost count of my hooks, so I just knew that everyone had been hooked once, and I was just hoping that they were all on death hook.
Got it. So you just didn't know you needed to pick him up. That's what it was.
And also, I didn't know where the hatch was, and so I made sure that I wasn't going to hook him until I found the hatch. And then I found the hatch and I just hooked him. And it just so happened that Dwight was standing right beside the hatch.
that was some nasty gameplay. Like, did you come in with like a chip on your shoulder? Were you trying to prove something? Because it just felt like you were. I don't think I've ever seen you play so well. I think that's the best I've ever seen you play.
I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult.
I mean, it is a compliment.
Insult.
Like, Jesus, that was disgusting. That was like that Blight game we saw from Sample Text. That was just whoa. The pressure you were putting on those gens was insane.
Okay, it was it was good. It shows how far that we Overslept have come from last season, and the fact that I felt the need to bring out Freddy. And if I didn't have Freddy, would I have done as well because of the split pressure that he offers? And I think I got very much carried by Ruin throughout that game. If they had found my Ruin early, that could have been a very, very different game.
Yeah, that's what Zed was saying as well. I was surprised by the comment. I don't guess I noticed the value of the Ruin. I mean, it's hard for me to notice much of any value coming from perks only because I'm sitting here paying attention to the score and I'm just making sure I'm not missing a hook, you know. But
Yeah.
I didn't get the impression that Ruin was doing that much damage until Zed said something about it. So overall, like, what do you think your team needs to improve on, and then what are you proud of your team for today?
Well, I had only just woke up before this game started, so I didn't play any of the prior 3 games. So I came into it, and I think we had a 3-point lead coming into my last game, which meant that all I needed to do was break even beforehand. So that made my life an awful lot easier rather than going in under a deficit. And then there's just some small tweaks, maybe small decision-making things that can have a larger impact long-term, but there's no real major issues. I think they all did really, really well, as they always do.
Yeah, y'all didn't need to improve much from last season. I mean, y'all were always right there in the thick of it. A playoff team, for those of you who don't know, they were in the playoffs last season. Yeah, I mean, and it seems like y'all have cleaned up a lot of the small things. I don't know that I noticed anything glaring that was quote unquote an issue, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. We're trying to get rid of mistakes, and we're, just trying to switch it up and become a little bit less predictable. And then sometimes that will work for you. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it works against you.
I mean, your Freddy was all over the place. I know we're talking about your survivors, but your Freddy was absolutely unpredictable. We couldn't figure out what you were doing. We were trying.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know. The split pressure was very good, and so I was just, going, where do I need to go now? But
sometimes the simplest answer.
It would have been a very different game if my survivors if the rest of the team had have left me in going into the deficit. I would have had to play maybe very differently. I wouldn't have had the freedom to play in the way that I did.
It was great. It was great to watch. I think that's the most exciting game so far this season. It's the first non-blowout we've had this season. Every game so far has been a blowout. So
Well,
it was definitely entertaining.
I think most of our games in last season were very close. I don't think we had many blowouts. Maybe one or two, but I would say this season will be something similar. I don't think there'll be many teams blow us out, and I don't think we'll blow many teams out. They'll just be all very, very close and entertaining.
I believe that as well. There's a lot of really good talent in here this season that I don't think even y'all are aware of yet. It's definitely coming a long way. So we do need to get to our break real quick. So is there anything y'all want to say to each other? Zed, you want to come back in?
Just good games as always, you know what I mean? Object of Depression is one of our favorite teams. You know, we love watching those guys play, so getting to play them is always fun. We only got to play them once last season.
Well, I want to say that this was obviously our home map, so I'd say whenever we play the reverse fixture, it'll be equally as close and entertaining. And again, just credit to We Overslept for how far they've come from this time last season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
And is there anything I want to say to the stream?
Are we ending the
You
stream?
guys in like an hour.
We are gonna start closing out the stream. Our numbers dip too much whenever we do the replays. Only like 15 to 20 people stick around, so we're gonna end the stream and come back in an hour.
Well, then I'm gonna say goodbye, stream. I hope you enjoyed.
And thank y'all for coming. I'm gonna pass it back to Rue so Rue can close us out, and I'm gonna sign off. Get good, fuckers.
Well, there you have it. That was Object of Depression versus We Overslept. Fantastic fun match. I had a good time. I hope you guys had a good time. We will be back at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Spine Chills versus the defending champions, CDM Creepy Daddy Myers. I am looking forward to that. You don't want to miss it. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. And yeah, we have merch now. Check us out at vigoscourt.tv, vigoscourt.tv. Stickers, shirts, rep your team, rep your favorite team. Thank you for watching. Follow, subscribe. I'm Little Rugard. This is Poggy. And we will see you at 7 p.m. Have a great evening.
See you guys later. I'm just going to close out one last quick thing. Of course, thank you to everyone behind the scenes who does everything, and we will see you next time. But also, if you're looking to be part of the league in some way, email league@vigoscourt.com. We're looking for commentators, hosts, people who want to just be involved in the show. We'd love to have you. Thank you very much. And we'll see you in a little bit. All right, then. I think that's it. That's all I got anyway.
Rue wants Poggy love.
Where's my button? Oh, that's not it. Where the hell is my button? Oh, there it is. I moved it. That's why it didn't work correctly. Oh, boy. So before the first gen even pops. Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike.